Our four players: Chris Boswell, no shock.
Yeah, really. That's all pro.
Lou, hang on to your seat. This one's going to trip you out. Minka Fitzpatrick, defensive tackle Cam Hayward, and linebacker TJ Watt were all voted to the Pro Bowl games, and all of them were selected as starters. Do not adjust your sets. I am not Jimmy the Greek. This is Six Rings of Counting, and I am still Corey Idle. Joining me, as always, is my man, Mr. Lou Willard. Lou, how we doing?
Man, I'm doing all right. You stupid.
I just don't want anybody asking me gambling tips trying to blow me up in my car. You know what I mean?
Well, hey, look, you better put that metal plate under the floorboard.
You know that's right. It's already been there.
Hey, look, you seen Casino?
Yep. Mm-hmm. Where do you think I got these glasses from?
Off of De Niro's dead body, or wounded body, I should say, because he made it out.
He did, but I did. I took about a couple thousand out of his pocket and a pair of Jordans and these glasses, so it worked out. But before I incriminate myself anymore, we have got to talk about a few things. We will be getting into the quarterback as the show moves along. But first and foremost, I wanted to bring up, because we've neglected so far, we had 4 Steelers voted to the Pro Bowl games, courtesy of Teresa Varley on Steelers.com. Our 4 players.
Does a really good job. And so does who's the one with the long name? Kikabola, Adele. I don't know her name. I'm butchering it right now. But she's good too. Those are probably the 2 best cover beat writers they got.
Yeah, no, they're if you guys, which I'm sure you all do, Steelers.com.
Adini Kikabola. I think it's Adini Kikabola or something like that. I'm butchering the name. But they do a really good job. Fantastic
website. One of the better ones for the teams in the league. Our 4 players: Chris Boswell, no shock.
Yeah, really. That's all pro.
Lou, hang on to your seat. This one's going to trip you out. Minka Fitzpatrick, defensive tackle Cam Hayward, and linebacker TJ Watt were all voted to the Pro Bowl games, and all of them were selected as starters. So congratulations to those guys. I'm sure you'd rather be playing for a Super Bowl ring and not starting in a Pro Bowl, but
the worst game you can play in, is the Pro Bowl, because they mean you're not in the Super Bowl.
Exactly.
And now they playing flag football.
Yeah.
Which, look, I'm not mad at them for that, because why you want to go take some extra hits?
I wouldn't do that.
Yeah.
Hell no.
Pro Bowl. It's always been a waste of time in football. All you can do is get hurt. Just select people to a Pro Bowl, and then you can skip a game. You don't have to play flag football.
Yeah, no, just cut them a check.
They got a bonus. Boom, done.
Yep.
Because you seen the running back for the Patriots years ago got hurt playing that game on the beach. It was never the same.
Not even close.
What's his name? I forget his name, but he was a really good back out of Georgia. Went to the Patriots, got hurt playing in a beach game.
Yep.
And was never the same. His career was over.
Done. And that's when it ended. Playing
in the damn sand.
And who would? All right. If we're going to talk about this, why in the hell would you take professional multi-million-dollar athletes and put them in the sand? These guys play with cleats on grass and turf, taped up.
It drew fans. It drew money.
Yeah, I guess.
Follow the money.
I guess, man. That's just wild. That was a wild concept.
Why do you think Cleveland is building a stadium that's a dome? Because they want a Super Bowl.
Yeah, well.
Follow the money.
They'll host a Super Bowl.
Yeah, they'll host. I should say host one. They're never going to one.
Come on, man.
Look, that's clear. They're never going to one.
No, that's the only way they're going to get a Super Bowl is to host that sumbitch. But, all right.
Closest they'll get.
enough with the ridiculous fantasy talk about Cleveland and Super Bowls and Pro Bowl games, and nobody cares about that. Now we're on to the big news. Our quarterback. We have said numerous times we already got it. Lou has been preaching this from the jump. It's now come out. Arthur Smith wanted Justin Fields to start, which is why our playbook may have seemed a little dumbed down because he couldn't do everything that he could do with Justin, being Arthur Smith, having to have Russ, who was Tomlin's guy. It's safe to say everybody's a free agent. Literally all three of our quarterbacks are free agents.
Yeah, we don't have a quarterback on the roster right now.
Is it safe to say, even though he was Tomlin's guy, is Russ 100% gone?
Russ is going to either my number one's first off, yes.
Okay.
Second off, he's either going to the Raiders because he and Pete Carroll have ironed out their stuff, or he's going to go to the Giants. But it came out where Russ and Arthur Smith didn't get along. You've been three places, and you worn out your welcome in three places. Maybe he goes back to Pete Carroll and makes it work. Or you go to Brian Daboll in New York at the Giants. What makes you think you're going to get along with him? I'd go back to the Raiders where Pete knows you, you know him, you can play 3 years while they get a quarterback, do that. But that's Russ's problem. We got our own quarterback situation to deal with.
That's it.
And what I'm doing, Mike Tomlin has 2 years left on this contract, right?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe I'm wrong, but I think it's 2 years left. I'm signing Justin Fields to a 2-year or probably $50 million deal. He'll take it, give him $25 million a year. Seems crazy, but he's the quarterback.
Yep. And Tomlin signed through 2027.
Okay, then what year is it? Yeah, then that's a couple years.
Yep.
However long Tomlin is signed, I'm going to give the kid, if it's 3 years, I'm going to give him 3 years, $75 million then. He almost gets a Baker Mayfield deal.
Right.
If I'm Art Rooney. And I'm going to call a meeting with him and Mike Tomlin and say, you two are married together. If you're choosing him as your quarterback, and young man, I believe in you.
Yeah.
And Arthur Smith, everybody's in the same damn room. All three of y'all married together. You got 2 years to show me a playoff win. I didn't say a Super Bowl. I said a playoff win. If not, everybody's contract is up at the same time, and I'm a clean house. And obviously, Mike, you can stick around the organization because you've been here forever. But you will no longer be the coach. You will no longer be the offensive coordinator, and you will no longer be the quarterback. And we talking, you got 30. They going to 70. You got 34 games. If you can handle that pressure, then resign. But that's what needs to happen. And then, if I'm going to tell him that as the owner, I'm going to tell him the first round you're drafting a wide receiver. I'm telling you who you drafted. A wide receiver. The second round, we need another corner. Man, damn that. Another offensive player at a skill position.
Mm-hmm.
And then the third round, guess who I'm taking? Jalen Milroe out of Alabama, quarterback. And I'm going to tell you why I'm taking him. Because I got him starting for me right now.
Yeah.
So if he gets hurt, I can plug a kid in without changing the playbook because he can throw and run too.
Yep.
I don't know who's better. I don't know if it's Milroe or Fields, but they're the same type of quarterback. So I don't have to modify the playbook.
Right.
It's not like I'm picking up Kirk Cousins, going from Fields to Kirk Cousins where I got to change everything because dude won't run. Dude can't run. No, I'm picking up an athletic quarterback who's going to throw something to the other team too. I got that now. So I'm picking up. No, go ahead.
Is that a normal thing, I guess, in the NFL where, let's say, you have Justin Fields as your starting quarterback? Are you now married to a scrambling or improvising kind of quarterback across your roster?
Well, you have to build your offense around what you got. If that's what you have, that's Arthur Smith's job. He could go get Kirk Cousins and then go get Jimmy Garoppolo. But guess what you're going to do? You're going to design an offense where the interior of the pocket has to hold up, and all the routes have to be where they don't have to run.
So everybody's playbook completely changes. Blocking scheme changes. Your route tree changes. Everything
changes.
Okay,
because you got a guy that can't run,
and for a younger team like we have, it probably would make sense to just keep everything across the board.
Keep it across the board, because guess what happens when you have a statue back there? You face more blitzes because they know he can't run. You'll face less blitzes with Fields because if he breaks out, there's nobody left back there to tackle him.
Right.
Your running backs are more open. Your tight end is more open because teams have to keep a spy on the quarterback that can run. That's why I say they should get a Mecca Ibuka, unless for some dumb reason Ashton Gente falls past. If the Cowboys don't draft his kid, I hate the Cowboys, but damn, quit messing up. If some reason he gets to the Steelers, that's your pick.
Yeah,
that's your pick. To pair him with Jaylen Warren, because we'll do another show, but I think Najee's going. Loved him for his time there. He did a great job, but I think he's gone. Yep. And then Jaylen Warren's your guy. But if they can get Gente, you pick Gente in the first round. You might have to trade back into the first round to get Ibuka, unless your pick in the second round is high enough. But they need to get this kid out of Ohio State. Okay, y'all, yeah, I'm biased, but the kid is good. He's been a number 2 receiver the entire time at Ohio State, because he's played behind Garrett Wilson. I think even Olave. Marvin Harrison, Jackson Smith and Jigma, and now Jeremiah Smith. Is he a number 2?
Yeah. No.
Is he? He leads. He's a career receptions leader at Ohio State University. Chris Carter, Joey Galloway, Terry Glenn. I'll stop there. Y'all get David Boston.
Oh, yeah.
Y'all get the gist of it.
If you're not hip to it, Ohio State is wide receiver U. And this guy is the best receiver to come out of wide receiver U.
There you go. Pick him up. We still don't know what Roman Wilson can do. He may be good. We don't know. But if I'm making Justin Fields my quarterback, which I would, I told you that I'd have that meeting.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to get him everything he needs. And one thing I would do is I would go get, and this sounds crazy to people. People have laughed at me. I'm calling Devontae Adams. He's a free agent.
Mm-hmm.
And you know why I'm calling him? Number 1, he said he wants to play for Mike Tomlin. Number 2, he'll play at a discount. Yeah. I truly believe that. If he don't, then go on about your business. But 3, as you get into this offense and you're trying to grow your quarterback, I just told you, we got crazy out there, number 14, acting crazy. You got Calvin Austin, another young guy. You got Emeka Ibuka, if you draft him, young guy. You got Roman Wilson, young guy.
Yep.
You got to have somebody to teach him. And then when the game starts, you got to have somebody, a comfort blanket for your quarterback to look to if he in a pickle.
Because that needs to stop being the tight end. As good as Freiermuth is, he has got to stop being our leading receiver.
Yes. You throw it to Devontae Adams, because at least you know he's going to knock it down. Exactly. And it gives you a blanket. And he seems to be a guy willing to teach other receivers. But if you don't go that route, my next plan would be trade 14, because this is last year. If you're not going to extend him, trade him.
Yep.
Because you can't, if you're picking Justin Fields, you can't have this fool out there acting up.
No.
Because Justin Fields is still trying to learn himself. So he can't have a receiver in his ear yelling at him. He can't do that.
No.
I would call the Jets and say, what would you take for Garrett Wilson? I'll give you Pickens, and see if they take it straight up. And I will still try to get Devontae Adams. But
100%.
And I know everybody going to say Garrett Wilson was yelling at Aaron Rodgers. Okay. He frustrated. Then they losing. Pittsburgh ain't losing. Pittsburgh winning.
Right.
He'd be fine. And again, I'm biased. I'm a Buckeye. But nonetheless, the kid can play. And this one here, I don't know what Jordan Pickens going to do. If they don't extend him, they're going to have to trade him. But if I'm taking Fields, which I think they will, it's got to be a calm environment around him.
100%.
Everybody, we need to draft linemen. No, we don't. We started 3 rookies, man. Went 10-7, 3 rookies, won most games, time of possession. Didn't have a lot of yards, but that was a scheme issue too. And we played the season with no wide receivers. We had 1 wide receiver.
Yep. Our offensive line was not the problem this year. I'm sorry. It was not. I'll go to bat for Steelers offensive line and the coaching job done by everybody involved with that line this season. Because that was a patchwork line, and they did great job.
Man, and look, and don't get me wrong, our tackles rated out as the worst group in the league. They did. Yep. They came in at 32. Dan Moore started out great and fell apart at the end. Broderick started slow, came along at the end. Yep. But together, they rated the worst offensive tackle group in the league. The numbers don't lie. They're not lying in this case. It's on paper. But what if I'm the Steelers? Simply put Broderick Jones where he plays at left tackle. He's a left tackle, not a right tackle. Put his ass over there. We've been playing since he was 5. And it's the same damn position.
And if I could take it back to numbers do lie all the time, we had a quarterback that would hold on to the ball forever.
But he's always done that.
Yeah.
Forever.
I mean, these guys were actually like in a league where you legitimately need to get the ball out of your hand in 2 to 3 seconds. These guys were forced to block for an average of 5 to 6. That's crazy. That's crazy. So yeah, they're going to rank out the worst. That's why sometimes the stats are insane. Unless you're an Ohio State Buckeye.
No, they really are. Mm-hmm. But when you go back and look at it, because since we started the show before the season, I watched every game 2 or 3 times, and you can see the decline of Dan Moore. Yeah. Some of that wasn't Russ. He just get beat right off the ball. At the beginning of the year, Broderick, when Fields was quarterbacking, to get beat right off the ball. But as the season went on, you saw Broderick get better.
Yeah. Dan
Moore got worse. And what I saw was our rookies got tired. It's a long season. This ain't college. This is not college. And you can see them start to wear down because there were no backups. All the backups got hurt.
Yeah, exactly.
The starters got hurt. My guy James Daniels, tore his Achilles. Yep. Out. Troy Fatt now. Out. Now we bringing in rookies. And you still went 10-7. I'm tired of hearing about winning seasons, man. Look, damn, man, I want a playoff win. The hell with a winning season. We got those. That's why I'm calling that meeting with Tomlin, Smith, and Fields, and everybody got 34 games to get it right.
Let me throw some names out. Let me throw some names out to you. These are free agents, guys that we're expecting to get cut. I'll break them into different aspects here. And some of the quarterbacks coming out in the draft. And you tell me yes, no, maybe. Sound good?
And we still have Arthur Smith, right?
Yes, we still have Arthur Smith.
Okay.
First up, free agents. Sam Darnold.
No.
Easy enough. Russ.
No.
Let me give you an idea here on these stats real quick. This is what's insane about how bad our quarterback play was. And I know Russ missed 6 games because Justin went 4-2. But still, this is insane. Sam Darnold in Minnesota threw for 4,100 yards, 35 touchdowns. Russell Wilson threw for 2,300 yards and 15 touchdowns. That's kind of gross, especially when you compare it to Justin Fields, who is also a free agent that we've talked about. We're assuming that's a yes. He threw for 1,100 yards in 6 games with 5 touchdowns and only 1 interception. Justin was playing great football. He really was. I mean, it wasn't, top level, but he was playing good football. Am I right?
He was settling in, and he lost his job because Mike Tomlin kept his word to Russell Wilson that he'd be the starting quarterback.
Yes.
The only reason he lost his job. His play did not lose his job. I don't give a damn that he stood in front of everybody and said, I didn't play well enough to keep my job. It's not true. You didn't lose your job. the guy they promised the starting position to got healthy.
Yeah, exactly.
That's all that happened. So bring his ass back. Let him play.
Now, again, this is all hypothetical. Obviously, we don't know if this is even a potential. However, there are rumors that the Seahawks are trying to shop Geno Smith. Would you trade for Geno Smith?
No. See, this is a hard ask for me because I've already cast my lot with Fields.
Yeah.
If I'm going to get somebody, I would sit down and I would, depending on what I could get for I'd put like Geno, Darnold, whoever.
Mm-hmm.
Are you willing to come in here and be a backup and help teach Fields? If the answer is no, then never mind.
Right.
And I'm not getting Darnold because he don't run. I'm not getting Geno because he don't run. Go get Marcus Mariota then.
Mm-hmm.
He comes in and does a great job when Daniels got to go out. They're
Every
the
time.
same quarterback. They're the same quarterback, except Daniels is really good and Marcus Mariota is me. But he knows the game.
Yep.
He can't do what he can do, but he can do what he can do long enough till he get back.
Right.
If that makes sense.
100%.
So that's what you'd have to go get. You just can't go get, unless you're going to, only person I would get that wouldn't do that is like a Joe Flacco, because he's proven he's willing to teach these kids.
Oh, yes.
Go get you a Flacco. I mean, he's going to sit there with them in the room and teach and teach and teach and teach and teach and teach. That's who you need if you're going to cash your lot with Fields.
100%. Hell, I'd even make Flacco a deal to maybe make him a quarterback coach. At least give him first interview chair for a quarterback coach when he wants to retire.
All you have to do is go get you like a Tyler Huntley, who's the same similar type athlete as Fields, just not as good, and go get you a Flacco as your third emergency quarterback and pay him his salary, give him a little bit more just to teach him.
Yep.
Just to teach him.
100%.
But if I'm going out, I'm going out with Fields. Like, if this is my last coaching job, which it will be for Tomlin, I'm going out of here with Justin Fields. I'm casting my lot. That's it. I'm not putting it all on his shoulders because I'm surrounded with everything I got.
Okay,
I'm giving him
that's a perfect segue then, because I got some guys who are projected to get cut. Some of them are teachers where you could see them taking a back seat. Some not so much, and you'll know what I mean here in a second. Kirk Cousins is projected to get cut by the Falcons. Now, the problem with him is he just signed that $180 million deal.
Yeah, that's it. His contract won't allow that to happen.
Yeah, that's pretty much a no. Would he be a good teacher? I don't even think so, because like you were saying, Fields and him are so different in their athletic ability that I just don't think he would be able to help him.
But so is Fields and Flacco.
That's
true. Flacco's proven that he's willing to teach the athletic quarterback the offense.
And he helped Anthony Richardson considerably.
He helped Richardson. He helped Watson. Yep. So he's helped similar quarterbacks to Fields. But I'm not sure about Kirk. I think Kirk might be done. Dude done made like $600 million. I think he done.
I would hope so. Here's I think who Lou would most want to be the next not starter, but the guy that's going to teach the younger generation. Aaron Rodgers is expected to get cut from the Jets.
That's funny.
Yeah, that's a flat out no.
Dude has flat out proven and said he's not there to teach anybody anything.
No. I love a guy who complained about the treatment he got from Brett Favre and turned around and turned out to be just as bad as Brett Favre.
Did the same.
The only thing this guy hasn't done is ripped off a welfare community yet, but he's about to.
That you know of.
If he hasn't, it's on deck. I promise you.
Man, look, if Pittsburgh picks him up, first off, it's going to be a dark day for Lou Willard because, come on. Yeah. Not a fan. But they better go get Devontae Adams and Garrett Wilson, too. Yeah, and at least we know we're going to score some points. I don't know what the hell else we're going to do besides going to a total state of dysfunction and dealing with this idiot. But I can't see. Let's just hope that doesn't happen. Put it like that.
His shenanigans alone, he wouldn't last 5 minutes in the Steelers locker room. quarterback or not.
In the city.
Yeah, well, that too.
That city don't put up with that bullshit. Look, how much longer we gonna do with that bullshit? Like Dusty Rhodes said. They ain't dealing with that. He better take that on over there to the New York and the little Simi Valley or whatever he live in over there, meditate.
Say word. Derek Carr is expected to get cut from the Saints.
If you can get him at a discount, I think he'd be a good backup.
I think he would too. He's the one guy I've liked so far that we've been talking about.
Yeah, I don't think he's a starter anymore, but he'll be a solid backup, and I think from what I've heard, he's a good teammate.
Yeah.
Which tells me he'd be willing to help the starter instead of being mad that he's not starting.
Yep.
If that makes sense to people. But that's what you need.
Now, I got 3 wild cards for you. I'm throwing these out here just because there are rumors circulating that teams are ready to make a change. You got Matthew Stafford, Brock Purdy, and Kyler Murray. Would you take any of them? Obviously, Stafford would be more of a backup and your teacher. But with Purdy or Kyler Murray, would you take any of them over Fields? You're definitely paying more for him.
I would absolutely take Stafford, but he's not leaving LA. I mean, if he does, he's retiring.
Yeah.
I can't see him going anywhere else. He has a Super Bowl. Brock Purdy's off the table because the 49ers are not letting him out of the Bay. Look, they can say what they want. That kid is not getting out of the Bay short of a $200 million contract. That mark my words now.
Yeah.
Kyler Murray, nope.
Yeah, no.
Because he's not mature enough. He's the same guy who his team drafted a wide receiver, the best receiver in college at the time.
Mm-hmm.
Clearly, that's Jeremiah Smith now.
Yep.
And his response was, "It's not my job to get him the ball." Wait a minute. Then who's going to give it to him?
Yeah, that is literally like your job description.
Are y'all going to throw 15 halfback passes and let the running back throw him the ball? Whose job is it?
Yeah.
So you pair that attitude up with George Pickens?
Oh, that's chaos.
Hey, why don't you just put some C4 in the stadium like they did in the movie Batman and blow the damn thing up? Come on.
R.I.P. to Hines Ward's fictional character, man. I hated to see that. He was going to return that kick for a touchdown too.
It just didn't happen.
Was wild. That was wild. Now let me give you some real backups who are going to be available for us. Jameis Winston.
I would take Jameis.
Cool. Gardner
because
Minshew.
did you watch Hard Knocks?
Yeah.
That's why I would take Jameis Winston. If I hadn't watched Hard Knocks, I would have told you no.
Yeah.
Jameis is a grown man now.
Oh yeah,
he was in there teaching Thompson. It ain't his fault that the kid can't get it. It wasn't for he's in there watching film with him, teaching him what's going on, and the quarterback coach ain't even in there.
No.
He will teach. So yes. And if he has to play, well, you know what you get. You're gonna score. And so are they.
Yep.
And you're gonna win time of possession because he's throwing picks.
Oh, 100%. 100%. But we also know he really likes to play in the snow. He really likes it. So
and he
would do
Jesus.
Well.
And he liked Jesus.
Gardner Minshew.
Not a big Gardner Minshew fan, man. I'm not sure he fits the Pittsburgh mode.
Same. I feel that way about him and this next guy, Carson Wentz.
Oh no, he's done.
Yeah.
He's done.
Jimmy G.
Nope, he's done. He's too pretty for Pittsburgh anyway.
Fair enough. Cooper Rush. This is an interesting backup.
I would take Cooper Rush as a backup, but he'd only have to play if the starter got hurt.
Oh,
because he's
100%.
not going to win you games. You know, you can't count on. He's not a starter, but he seems to be a good backup, good solid backup.
Mac Jones.
I would take Mac Jones. He's coming into his own as a backup.
This is the most
and he's not causing any problems. No, I'm saying he's not causing any problems. Yeah.
Yeah, and he played really well for that dysfunctional Jaguars team when Lawrence went down.
He made himself a little bit more money by playing the way he did.
Yep, 100%. The most interesting one of these guys, and who I would really like to take a look at, Trey Lance.
I don't know.
Now this would employ getting your third Joe Flacco as a teacher. You couldn't just have Fields and Lance.
Oh, you definitely can't just have that. You have to go get somebody to teach. Because like the answer is, honestly, I don't know. I wasn't a believer in him when he came out of college. And not just because he played at South Dakota State or wherever it was, North Dakota State, whatever it was. It's because I'm like, what'd he do?
Yeah, what'd he play, like 4 games?
What? Yeah, you just haven't played. I wasn't a believer in Anthony Richardson when he came out.
No.
Right now, that's bearing out to be true. Because he only had, 10 starts or something like that? Whatever the number was. Wasn't even a full season.
No.
So the answer is, I don't know. What I do know is he don't cause problems.
And he don't bother nobody.
But sometimes when you know you can't play right, you better not cause a problem, or they get rid of your ass quick.
Oh, that's it. And so he was serviceable for the Cowboys this year. Like, again, he's like Cooper Rush. He's not going to win the game. Yeah.
Yeah, he had one start. And that's when I don't know what the hell happened. They had one start. But I didn't get the number 3 overall draft pick. I'd have never done it. No. I wouldn't even take if I had the number 1, I wouldn't take a quarterback in the first round this year.
No.
Because I don't see it.
Even Shedeur Sanders?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I don't want all that drama. Why don't you go draft LaMelo Ball?
Yeah, when his
I'm not bringing all that chaos into my building.
When I heard Dion say that Shedeur Sanders will go to the team Dion says, and if he doesn't, he's not his son, I thought, oh, hell no.
And look, even if it's my team that he picked, I'm going, motherfucker, who you think you are?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not bringing that chaos into my building.
No.
I got 53 mega type A personalities in this locker room already. And then I got another 10 to 15 A type personalities on the practice squad. Yep. Then I'm sitting in the coaching room with another 20 A type personalities.
Yep.
What I want to bring your chaos in this building for? There's no way I would draft Shedeur Sanders. And I think the kid is talented.
Oh, yeah.
Unfortunately, for me, if this is just my opinion, I wish him nothing but the best. He's already a multimillionaire. Wish him nothing but the best. Hopefully he has a really good NFL career because it makes the league better when they have better quarterbacks.
100%.
I don't want him in Pittsburgh. If they draft him, I will support him. I will, nothing against him. It's just chaos. If his dad can stay out the way, okay.
Well, I almost think a team or a franchise like Pittsburgh, with a coach like Tomlin, with owners like the Rooneys, Dion would almost have to stay a little further back.
He wouldn't have a choice.
Yeah, there's nothing you can do to get involved in that. That franchise is solidified. That coach is solidified. Now, you can play that noise with the Cowboys and Brian Schottenheimer, and you work your way in. Yeah,
and the Jets and the Raiders. Because he wanted him to go to the Raiders. Now Pete Carroll there, who hires a 73-year-old coach in the NFL nowadays. But that's
we lost Lou. Well, clearly Lou suffered some technical difficulties there, probably because we were running long. He said, nope, I'm leaving. This is all the time you paid me for. So that being said, for Lou Willard, I'm Corey Idle, and we will see you next time on Six Rings and Counting.